Got Esik in the house. Just flew in from Austin, Texas.
Once again.
We're gonna hang out and kind of spend some time on that curriculum, right, for the belt ranking system.
Yes, for Viking Ninja, the belt ranking system is it's a new thing, but has been beta tested.
Right.
Has been beta tested and has a lot of potential for scaling your brain intelligence with training with the steel mace. Not only that, but the weight intelligence and learning how to apply with it. So the dynamics of every multiplanar movement begins with belting system.
I'm really excited because I always look at, even TACFIT, there's not like a belt ranking system per se, right? But I always look at it as martial art training.
Absolutely.
With yourself, it's versus yourself, right? There's no any other opponent. Okay, if you have a mace, it's you versus the mace.
Right.
But it's you versus yourself.
Absolutely. I usually tell people, look, if you can't dig deep with the mace, just remember that 10-pound mace wins your 100+ pound body. That is not a good sign. That is not a good sign. So it usually gets in people's head to structure in more and make the mace be more manageable. Yeah. So I just think it as a martial art, It is,
because that awareness that martial arts gives you, like the training, like the breath, right, the structure, and then just getting those reps in, right?
Yeah,
it really changes you.
Yeah, I like what you said there. It's martial art mindset, gets you ready for martial arts. Someone asked me, will this teach me martial arts? I'm like, no. This will get you set, okay, rotation wise. Like there's a lot of rotations happening with jiu-jitsu, striking, everything, even in sports. But without the guidance through your, the range of motions that you need to go through with this tool, you're not going to understand what kind of rotation you're limited with or you can be accessible with. And so therefore it could be dangerous too. If you have too much load and rotate, you can't translate to jiu-jitsu or striking. So there has to be a scale system, and that's why that belting system is necessary. Yeah.
Well, people want to feel progression, right? And it's nice. It's nice to have systems in place, right? And but I was, like I always talk about, like people like, I believe in jiu-jitsu that everybody should do jiu-jitsu because that's my background, right? But hey man, it's not. Well, yeah. Well, not everybody can do jiu-jitsu. I believe it's for everybody, of course.
Absolutely.
But for some people, it's not their thing. They don't want some sweaty guy like sweating in their face or whatever.
But the
their mouth.
But the idea of jiu-jitsu is there. It's
but the things that you gain from it, you can gain from Viking Ninja and from TACFIT.
Yes,
that's the beauty of it. It doesn't have to be just for jiu-jitsu. It can be for everybody, like general population.
Right. Mastering yourself.
That's
right?
it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Mastering yourself. I mean, you master a sport, you master jiu-jitsu, but nobody really masters themselves before getting into those things. But if we can have people who don't like to get in those things, like martial arts, they can master themselves through the mace, and therefore it's a perfect feedback tool.
Well, that's right. Like as a martial artist, like that's the process, right? That's the character building, and you gain those character traits by doing the reps, by having goals, right? Like for example, we always talk about the CST, the TACFIT certifications,
right?
Like those are proving grounds,
Correct. I mean, CST was back in the days. This was a long time ago. CST stands for Circular Strength Training. Scott Sonnen built that system. The 3-ring concept. It's incredible. Yeah. For those out there that don't know the CST, go out there online and check it out because definitely has a great introduction to club bells and just your body performance as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but just it's cool, So I'm really excited actually to have belt ranking,
Oh yeah.
system involved with these systems.
I mean, I'm looking around here and I'm like, man, you're gonna belt my system and make it look like this. I mean, but that's great because nobody else better to belt system with you. But I mean, you by my side is gonna make it.
Yeah, it's been my life, right? Yeah. So I've been doing this for a long time. So I'm really excited to just do my whatever I can contribute, to making it be where it's at, the best way, right?
Yeah, there's nobody else better.
Yeah,
there's nobody else better to ask other than you. I mean, you have it.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see it come to life. And like you said, it's been a lot of years in the works, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just excited to see it. Move forward and happen
to develop, right?
Yeah.
And I know we're gonna have a long day today talking about all that and where we can incorporate things.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I'm really excited to have like a mastermind. I'll call it a mastermind session.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, my whole goal was to try to lock you in a room. And
one swinging light. It's like I'm getting interrogated. That one light bulb.
Stay here. Focus.
All of a sudden, your face comes out of nowhere. Where are you from? 1999. Cigarette in your mouth.
Oh my God.
No, thing is, with you coming here and really putting me in the room to talk about this is new for me because, I don't know the belting system through a martial arts standpoint. Mm-hmm. When I work with fitness, I can belt it to a degree, right? And just keep it in the lane of fitness. But now that we have incorporated many more things with Viking Ninja,
right.
we can have the belting system.
I'm really excited. Can't wait, to see it come to life,
Oh, yeah.
It's been a lot of years in the making, so just to kind of see it come to life. I'm really excited.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. You've been working with like 10th Planet guys in Austin, right?
Yes, 10th Planet in Austin. I've been doing a bunch of Tac Fit and Viking Ninja training only specifically, and that's all they do. They don't do anything else. So, and they are all about it. So I just started doing that with them not too long ago, matter of fact, and the fact that it's there, people are wanting to train as well. So we got jiu-jitsu students wanting to say, hey, how do I train this and do classes as well? I'm like, well, take a certification. Now I have 10th Planet Round Rock, 10th Planet Dallas, 10th Planet San Antonio, and 10th Planet ATX that wants to take a certification privately for 10th Planet Tac Fit and Viking Ninja.
Yeah.
Which is great. I mean, we're getting
what is some of the feedback that you've been getting from just that classes and
the feedback I've been getting, which is really cool to hear, rather than, I'm stronger, I move better. I move better, I breathe better because I'm practicing my breath during the training in Tac Fit with all the protocols we introduce, as well as the long range motions we go through with Steel Mace training with Viking Ninja. That kind of opens up a little bit more of their joint capsules. People like you probably know joints are the first thing to go in jiu-jitsu, and in your experience, I'm sure man, the pain levels everywhere, right? That when you get submitted, or you probably never get submitted.
Everybody gets submitted.
Yeah, well, yeah, everyone.
If you don't train, you don't get submitted.
That's a good one. Hey guys, you want to be undefeated? Don't train.
Don't train, right? Don't fight.
Yeah, exactly. But you have that alertness, that awareness, so that way if jiu-jitsu athletes come in and they say, man, I got shoulder issue, elbow issue, you have the answer because you have the text on Tac Fit. Tac Fit is a recovery system for jiu-jitsu, not specifically. I think it's for all martial arts.
It's for everybody, right? But not just martial arts, but it's for everybody.
Absolutely.
Everybody. That's what I love about it,
It's
like my wife, like everybody. My dad, like elderly, young for kids, like everybody can do it.
Everybody. And
everybody
people,
can do it.
And they lay it down there like, well, that's a martial arts training system. I go, no, that's a human training system.
Right.
When you say martial arts, it just means you're the most optimal, the most versatile, durable athlete, right? That can push it to the 100. But not everybody can do that. But we can train ourselves up to the 100 we want to be at, whatever goal that is.
You have a Cleveland Brown sweatshirt on,
Yeah.
And you've worked with like a bunch of UFC fighters and things like that. Like, what's some of the feedback that you've gotten doing these types of trainings with them?
Well, during training,
they're like,
oh, my wrist. But the feedback I've been getting. So I've been training. Let's see. There was Carlos Condit, even coaches like Six Gun Gibson back in Albuquerque. A lot of Berkey boys like Dotson, Cowboy Cerrone. What I've noticed was the training actually had them pinpoint where they feel restricted or limited, and they never knew that.
Right.
And that's where
points it out, right?
Yeah, points it out. And when it points it out, they kind of get in their own head and go, I need to do more of this, So they start doing it. Like Carlos Condit will take that mace and train by himself. He doesn't need anybody else to train him. He loves that thing because he knows.
I remember seeing videos of him doing it. Like it's been like quite a few years now.
Oh yeah. Cowboy Cerrone.
He's still doing it.
Oh yeah.
He's gotta be doing it still.
Yeah, he every time I go to Berkey, I'll hit him up or something. He'll go, hey, let's train, and it's the first thing. Let's train mace. Nice. I'm like, wow. Nice. He's a awesome guy. He loves to do that primal training method. That's why he does the move nat, and all that.
Okay.
And so I think he would love TACFIT. I think.
What's he been up to? Do you know?
He's in Saudi Arabia, I think.
Really?
Yeah, Saudi Arabia with Six Gun Gibson. So,
doing.
I think maybe watching the fights, or I could be wrong.
Abu Dhabi or Saudi Arabia?
Oh, Abu Dhabi probably.
Abu Dhabi,
yeah.
For
I'm
the
sorry.
UFC.
Yeah, UFC. I'm seeing so many things today.
Right.
Correct. Yeah. So it's international.
You just flew in.
Yeah.
Like maybe literally like 10 minutes ago, right?
Yeah. Oh, and I said Saudi Arabia. My bad. But I think with him, he's a good athlete for TACFIT because he'll find himself in another cerebral area where he can calculate his movements more, or not just strength. Like, I don't want to say strength. Calculate his movements where, oh man, I have a tendency to keep doing these stupid patterns. I should get out of it, And so he's a smart guy, and I really respect him on that. So I think, one day we'll have Carlos come here, get on podcast,
for sure.
And we'll get to
for
work.
Sure. I've been always a big fan.
Yeah.
Known him since he was like starting out pretty much fighting.
I brought you up. He's like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then his dad worked, I think he was the head of security for the governor of New Mexico.
Wow.
So like he was,
that's legit.
Like his dad, yeah. So yeah.
That's cool, man.
Back in the day, right? When he was still the governor, Bill Richardson.
Wow.
But yeah, he's a good guy, man. Good guy.
Yeah,
smart guy. Smart
good father.
Quality, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And so it's also got a lot of you have a lot of people telling him, like, oh, I'd like to train you, this and that, but at the end of the day, Carlos is his own trainer.
Right.
But if you feed him the TACFIT methods,
right.
You'll see him put it out.
Next time I go out to New Mexico.
Yeah.
Okay. Was I going to ask you, did you ever get to train with Greg Jackson?
I did not get a chance to train with him. I actually just got a chance to kind of pick his brain a little bit, and
I'm curious.
And he told me, man, he has areas that he could tend to, and get
himself.
Yes, yeah. He'd love to find a method to get some areas released and not build up so much tension. Because over the years in martial arts, and people think it's just athletes. I think it's coaches too, when they hold pads for you, and you're wrestling them down and. Wear and tear happens, and if you don't utilize your connective tissues with your joint alignments and stuff, you're just not doing service for yourself.
Yeah, I'm curious because he was always kind of studying things on strength conditioning.
He's smart.
Yeah, he's smart. He's smart. So I'm sure he would appreciate it. He just would need somebody to show him, right?
I think he needs
all of us do.
Because
when I go out there, for sure I want to connect.
Yeah, you have all the experience.
There's another guy, Chris Luttrell. Have you ever heard of him?
I heard of him.
Who are the guys the fighters he has now? But he was like Greg's like right hand man forever, and he has like a few UFC fighters, and but he's been around. He's like he's kind of the father of his ground and pound system that Greg has,
nice
that Jackson's has. Chris Luttrell, he was a police officer. He used to fight. He beat like Yves Edwards back in the day. He was a wrestler, and then he was a police officer, and then he just loves to fight.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
he actually brought me to Jackson's as well because he would travel around. He was like a flight attendant, and then he would.
It was a flight attendant too.
Yeah, I think he was a police officer, and then he's like it was like back in the 80s or 90s, the bad times, of in LA, being a police officer. He's like I can't do this anymore, and so he not retired, but he quit, and he moved to New Mexico. And I think he was a flight attendant, and of course he was a wrestler. So of course he watched the early UFCs, and he's like, "Hey, I want to learn this stuff." And Greg Jackson was picking up stuff and learning things. And then I think Chris Luttrell would travel around the country, wherever there was jiu-jitsu, and he would like learn from like the Brazilian guys, and then bring it back to the gym, and they would practice it. Of course, like Greg's like really smart as well, right? And they would like just kind of break things down. And they always had like amazing athletes, tough guys,
So he was like really about it. Like he'd go out of his way to do this.
Chris Luttrell?
Yeah.
I mean, he was one of he's like he doesn't get the credit. People don't know him, like the general population. They don't know who he is, I think overall. But he's been there since the beginning, of like New Mexico MMA.
Can you imagine, you're a steward and someone gets out of line and you
steward.
Do we have a problem here, sir?
A flight attendant, yeah.
We got a problem on 26C. have a problem here, sir? No, we don't. I mean, can you
no
imagine?
need for any U.S. Marshals, right?
All of a sudden,
plane.
yeah, you wake.
We good. We good.
Like if you wake up in the aisle seat because you heard noise, you look back, it's him like rear naked choking this guy. He's being bad. He's not complying to the rules. But no, yeah, I think New Mexico, Berkey even has incredible fighters and beautiful people. It's great.
Yeah. I love New Mexico.
Santa Fe too.
Yeah, I mean it's all one, right? In a way, because it's like you're right. The landmass is a little bit bigger, right? Yeah. But like there's a lot of people.
That's like an hour away.
It's an hour away, but it's it's like there's not a lot of people, so we're all like everybody's like kind of together in a way, And then just the running in the mountains and just the altitude. I definitely miss that,
Sandia Hills?
Sandia, Santa Fe too, but Sandia, we would go up and Greg would take us up and do those conditioning things, running those hills. I saw some of your pictures.
Well, I'm gonna admit something, okay? Like, I thought, oh, that hill, that's not that big, man. It's not about that hill. It's about the breathing.
Yeah.
And my breath was almost gone.
Yeah.
And so I was
thinner and thinner.
Yeah, I was just told,
it's like breathing through a straw.
Oh my God, like a coffee straw. So like I'm sitting here like, hey, I think I gotta go back down. I'm getting lightheaded. And they're like, yep, we're going down.
At the top of Sandia?
Well, getting near there because I've never been in elevation for so long. I've been in Texas for so long, and Texas is flat.
Yeah.
And so when I got up there, I just felt like, man, I need to just fall asleep right now.
Yeah. I think it's a good breeding ground, for just like conditioning and mental toughness.
Yeah.
That you can't get like at sea level, for example, like in California. Or,
it's
an extra edge, right? That's how I felt when I was out there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you have Colorado people doing the same thing, but at the same time, with that type of training, I mean, you got other people that have flat surface land trying to put a mask on, trying to elevation fitness. I'm like, that doesn't work. It needs to hit you as a human, all over. Like I feel no air and my body feels light. Then you're talking about mental conditioning there. Yeah. But I love it.
There's so many factors, right? In performance.
Yeah.
In life, right? It's not just like one thing or the other, but just like everything, right?
Right.
Working together.
That's a big one.
That's what I relate everything to martial arts just because that's my background, but it's life, right? In itself, we just have different things thrown at us,
Like together is everything. It's team, it's family, it's group, unit, everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The connections with others, but like TacFit and Viking Ninja, like just the community, right? Like you're saying, but just as a holistic system, right?
Yeah.
Like Scott putting all these things together originally. So.
Yeah. And he put a lot of stuff together. And I think it's so many things that I don't think everybody's seen it all.
Yeah.
He's just.
And really understands like those, even one of the components, right?
Right.
Of one of the things.
Yeah. He would slow wheel things in, and then all of a sudden that wheel started turning to a hamster wheel, and it just goes crazy. It's ingenious things. I come in here and then, I walked in here today. And you went to go pick me up at the airport, but I took the Uber over here.
Fast, man. That's why I was like I was telling Phil, I was like, I'm gonna have to lock you in the room so you're squirrely.
Yeah, he's I'm everywhere. So I'm definitely squirrely, and I just I got some time to check the place out again, soak up your gym. There's times where we come to your gym and I'm just like work mode. But I got a chance to come and read the experience you had. With all your jiu-jitsu, and man, you did a lot. I want to throw this back at you just for 1 second, just because nobody can go back in time and do that. What you've created was a legendary path for yourself, and everybody saw it and they were like, holy shit. You ever see Back to the Future, the fucking car goes and then there's those flames? That's you. And everybody's like, whoa, who's in that car? So the fact that, it makes sense now. So I read that goes back in the days, and I see it now. And I look at your group here. I'm like, that's legend. Man, that's legend. As much as you probably see it already, I just thought, from my perspective, seeing it in a new mind, that's incredible, and people should respect the hell out of you for that.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a blessing to be a part of this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA history, you know, and you know, those different pieces like in the 1990s and even early 2000s, being a part of like the different times. You know, MMA was different back in those days. You know, you were representing a martial art.
Right.
You were representing certain things. It was a different time, right? Now it's like it's more professional, right? It's on mainstream TV.
Right.
So I feel blessed to have followed my gut and my instinct.
Yeah.
And gone for it. Moved down to Brazil. Gave everything I had, you know, towards the process.
Yeah, because the process, Professor, was ridiculous back then. It was no rules. So you had it worse than what people have it now. Now I think it's worse in a different way. It's just because there's no rules.
Right.
But it can be worse when you just say just sport. You know, there's rules now, and you can't engage the way you want to. You know,
and just, you know, thinking about TacFit and Viking Ninja, like, you know, I'm blessed to have found like Scott Sonnen, TacFit, found you, Viking Ninja. Like, I feel blessed because I get to benefit from all the things that you guys have put together and keep putting together. You know? So I feel blessed to be able to add my martial arts background, hopefully a little part of it,
big part,
into integrating it into the Viking Ninja. I'm so excited and I feel so blessed. So thank you so much for just being a part and giving me the opportunity to
absolutely. I couldn't
do it with you, to work with you.
I honestly feel like it's more of a blessing for me. So thank you. And I appreciate you, and I always will. So thank you for that.
Thank you, brother.